PlayStation 2 is 25 years old, and it feels like it continues to be incredible no matter what year it is. You know, the thing I really love about the PlayStation 2 is that there's hundreds, maybe more than hundreds, of games that have aged incredibly well. PlayStation 2 Emulation is amazing. It is very good. Like, what the hell on planet Earth is masterpiece worthy? Not many things, maybe. But one thing that is PlayStation 2 Emulation. So on top of already playing all these amazing games with amazing gameplay, we can play these games with amazing visuals. Frame rates are good. We can sit down. We can be useless at our desktop PCs. Our phones can be used to play amazing PlayStation 2 games on at this point. Honestly, I've been slacking lately with just playing PlayStation 2 in general, just no matter what it is. If it's just anything to do with PlayStation 2, I have very much slacked lately. But it's kind of been the summer of Xbox 360. I don't know what's going on or something, but just the last couple of months, just basically once the sun has been in the air for a long time, Xbox 360 has kind of taken over the summer. I don't know. It seems like everything that happened it was just Xbox 360. And then, you know, there's nothing wrong with that or anything, but then you don't want to leave behind amazing things like this. And then you wake up one day and it's like, I don't know, do something useless. Wake up. I haven't played PCSX2 in so many months. It's been, I can't even tell you when it was. It's been a while though. And there's been many upgrades to this. I don't know how many. I just said that word for some reason, but there has been upgrades. I know that because I've seen them. I said, but I'm not entirely sure how many there is because it's been a while. And then, you know, if you open up the application and see the entire list of things that have been upgraded or just improved since the last time I played this, it almost felt like I haven't done this in years. I couldn't believe the amount of things that there was, just noting that have... Actually, this does have quite frequent updates, I think. So it's not like it's rare or something to have updates on this, but it's just... I was scrolling down for like 5 minutes. You know, as someone who used to play PlayStation 2 very often growing up, like this was the console that was in the basement that me and my brother almost killed each other over every time we wanted to play. I never imagined myself playing this on anything other than the original PlayStation 2 console itself. It just looks at you and it says, I'm beautiful, play me. But I'm at the point now where I feel like there's no better way to play PlayStation 2 than PCSX2. The PS2 has more games than a cheating wife in the middle of a brothel. It's hard to sit there sometimes and think to yourself, which game should I play? Out of every single system that might exist, maybe a select few that you can actually sit, or there's probably quite a bit actually. I always get enjoyment when I sit down at night and think to myself, what am I going to do? Am I just going to be basically a waste of oxygen at this point? Am I going to do something? And whenever it comes to certain consoles again, and if there was a list, this would be close to the top. It just makes me feel some type of way, like really good inside. I can't explain it. The PlayStation 2 was like in its prime when I was very young. Like I could barely probably tie my shoes at that point. It was in its prime around then. It's like, all right, tie your damn shoes, kid. So it's not like I really had the opportunity to be able to play every single game I wanted to play. I remember actually trying to get my hands on games that I couldn't because I just wasn't allowed to play them. They were like rated M. Or I just obviously didn't have the funds to get these games. Like I remember sometimes I'd be like, hey mom, drive me to the mall, please. And then she'd be like, no, shut the hell up, son. Go back downstairs. You're an idiot. Honestly, if I made another list, how many times have I said list in this so far? But if I did make one, there'd be quite a few games, like really good games that I've never played before, just didn't really get to finish them or something that like are well known. Some of the best PlayStation 2 games ever, possibly. I remember my dad one night was making cinnamon buns in the kitchen. Smell was amazing. And every single time he would come downstairs, because it'd just be like one of those situations where it's like, hey, what are you guys doing? We just changed the TV back to normal cable or something, put on Rugrats. Or I don't know what the hell we'd put on. Probably just something that would make us look like we're not doing something we're not supposed to do or something. Those are just some of the memories that I have of PlayStation 2 growing up. Anyway, let's get to some important things, because I don't even think anything, of course, this has been going on for I don't even know how long, and I don't even think anything relevant has been said. There has been changes, there's been quite a few I already mentioned, but let's set this up again. Let's set PCSX up 2, or I don't know if anything could have made less sense than what I just said. But let's set this thing up. And to be honest with you, I'm trying to play some games at this point too that maybe I've never played before. Just ones I've seen on the internet that people say are really good. So this is going to be, this is exciting. I'm excited. Happiness. Okay, so the first thing you see when you do open up PCSX2 is just a huge list. If you haven't updated in a while, there's so many things. Like, I'm not even gonna try and lie and say that I even know what most of these mean for the most part. There was one thing where I noticed that certain games that I used to play, like probably not even a year ago, even games that I just played earlier this year, that didn't really function the best on this, that are working well now. There was another feature too where I saw you could add like a background image. So you can just pick whatever image you want and then put it in the background of your games list. Just a feature like that. For someone who's as simple-minded as me, like a bug, like a bumblebee probably has the size brain that I have. So something like that impresses me and makes me feel like this is getting better. Might be silly, but it's something that I feel like is just making this thing more enjoyable to look at. I like simplicity, and the PCSX2 website looks very good. It's very simple to understand. We have like a nice list up top with just everything we can view. We can look at the compatibility, which is incredible, by the way. For the love of Christ, when there's a perfect category, you know it's good. I probably said this a million times at this point too, whenever I've talked about it. Like, I may not have played every single time I've discussed this, but I probably said this more than anything else. It is rare. And it is. It is maybe kind of rare. It's kind of rare to find a game on this that doesn't work. As in, it just completely doesn't like load or just is a mess when you try to play it. Now, there's a lot of things that are very impressive with this, but that is one of the most impressive things about this. Just knowing I can come on this and play some of my favorite games that I once played growing up or just whenever it happened, and you don't have to worry about it not working. Imagine if we get to a situation, I always think this when I play an emulator that works unbelievably well. If we ever get to a point where like RPCS3 and Xenia is this good compatibility-wise, I will be the happiest person alive. I don't know if that's ever going to happen and if it's even possible, but if we ever get, it's probably going to be a long time. If we do ever get to that point, planet Earth has peaked. Now, what's also very straightforward about this is navigating through the settings. Whatever source you decide to play it on, like if you're playing on your desktop PC, if it's very powerful or something. I personally haven't played on anything above 1440p. I probably wouldn't even go above 4K just because I still don't know if things can look better than some things that are already lower in resolution. So I usually do play this on 1440p at the most because that's what my monitor is. There's been quite a few games that I've played where it seems like it's hard to view things that are like not that far ahead of you or something, like in a racing game where everything's moving really fast. And if you're playing on the original PlayStation 2, it's kind of hard to see and everything. But then when you play on this and you upscale the resolution and make the frame rate just nice and perfect, it does really depend on what you play on though, because when I play on my actual gaming PC, everything is like amazing and runs very well, and I can like make the resolution great. But when you play on something like a low-end laptop or something, like I know it probably depends on like the settings and everything, but I have a pretty terrible laptop right there. If you try to like make things look better than what the default settings are and everything, it doesn't really run the best. However, I was kind of surprised at my phone when I did this like just a week or two ago, whenever that was, when I was playing PlayStation 2 games on that. Everything was great. There was like one game, I think, out of the many I played from PlayStation 2 that didn't work. And that was shocking. I would have said, if I was going to guess, that the laptop I have was going to be better performance-wise than my phone, but I guess I was completely wrong. But I'm an idiot, so it's not really surprising. Playing on a low-end laptop is like playing the violin in the Costco meat section. It just doesn't really make much sense to do sometimes. You can get it to work, but it's not something that's going to be like unbelievably amazing. And even on like default settings, some games didn't even decide to run. Like I just didn't change anything. Like I would run default settings for everything, frame rate, resolution, and just this thing was about to start smoking from the bottom of it. I probably could have put a rump roast on top of it. It would have made me dinner. I feel like I've done this before and it was working fine, and then I just did it again. It didn't want to work. This thing's junk. Another good thing about this is if you have something that is high in storage, I'm using a 1 terabyte external SSD right now, and it seems like that can hold a lot of games on it. It's almost like you have this mini PlayStation 2 library in the palm of your hands. You can also use like whatever controller you want if it's compatible with it. If you have a PC controller just laying around and you want to set it up to this, you can make it happen. Playing PlayStation 2 with a modern controller is quite fantastic. Play like Cyberpunk on your PC with this thing, and then you're playing PlayStation 2. If there's one thing that's debatably amazing about the newest generation of consoles and everything, is the controllers are nice. And not even ones that are like PS5 or Xbox Series X or something. Like if you just get like a nice one on Amazon or something. If you do go back and play with a PlayStation 2 controller itself, and then you use something like this, it's just kind of like, oh god. It's not terrible or something, it's just, this is a lot better. Now, I was playing some games again that I played a couple months ago. I don't know when it was, probably earlier this year maybe. They didn't really work the best when I did play them on PCSX2, but after revisiting them again, they almost work perfect. It was weird. I was playing True Crime New York City, and I remember that was like the problem with the flickering and everything, where like every cutscene, not even just the cutscenes, it was just when you're driving down the street, everything was just flashing in front of your face. It was almost hard to play. It's just nice to be able to sit down and play these games again, because, god damn it, you can't forget just this generation. You can't do it. It's impossible. You know what games are really good from this era? Or all of them probably, but two specific genres that were really good. Racing games are really good, and sports games are really good, which is rare as hell these days. I don't know what's going on with sports games anymore. As someone who plays sports games a lot, or not that much anymore, I only play like one, it's hard to find a generation that has better sports games than this era. It is. PS3 and 360, that generation had probably the last consistent era where those were consistently good. PS4 era had some good ones too, but consistently, like every single time one would come out, it's like, all right, this is going to be amazing. And racing games, it's the same thing. Racing games might be like the best genre to play from this era. I cannot find a Need for Speed game on this anything. I can't find a racing game that's bad. Need for Speed, Flat Out, Midnight Club. I'm missing one. I don't remember, but every single one you play, every franchise, every one is debatably amazing. It's weird. I don't know, I'd be sitting here all damn day if I was just naming off all the amazing games on this. Like every category, every single category of games, you could probably just go on about forever about how good it is. And it wouldn't sound silly, even from me. You know what's something that I didn't really understand or realize at one point? How amazing some of these games looked. Not even just anything to do with PCSX2, just like the actual graphics. Honestly, if it's really anything that's past 2004 or 5, those games look awesome. It's crazy it's crazy the amount of impressiveness that went on. I don't know if I just made up a word or not, but that is actually what happened. I played a game called Area 51 for the first time. That was amazing. It was. God, there was another one. There was quite a few. I tried to just find a bunch that I didn't really play before. This is really a perfect example of a game that I don't even know I knew existed. And then I played for the first time. It's like, where the hell was I? I didn't even know these games existed. I don't know. It's not really my fault, I guess. I just didn't really know these games existed because I was way too damn young when they came out. I was just like, what the hell's happening? If you ever go on YouTube or something and look up best PlayStation 2 games or most underrated PlayStation 2 games, that's a good video to watch, because you might even see some you've never seen before. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. There's just too many good games on this. It is. Pro Skater 3, 4, American Wasteland, Underground. Anyone see that TikTok of Tony Hawk when he was doing the reenactment of the Tony Hawk's Underground scene, like the very first scene? Man, if he's teasing an Underground remake, it's hard to imagine a situation where you could find this many. Are we ever going to see a console ever again that has this many games on it that are this good? I think we've reached the point in time in history where it just takes too long to make games. So it's not possible. Games can still be awesome. They can still be amazing. They might even be some of the best you've ever played. But when it comes to the quantity, PCSX2 is like drinking a can of vanilla Coke that's so damn cold it gets stuck to your hand, burns, and almost just impossible to put down because it hurts in the middle of July. That's how impressive it is. It does nothing that makes me feel like it's falling behind or just not keeping up with the times. It consistently gets better. It's already amazing. The compatibility list is about as impressive. What? It's about as impressive as I've ever seen anything. Ladies and gentlemen, from 2000 to 2010. I can't even. I'm not going to say it again because I know for a fact I have said this hundreds of times. There is no way in the depths of hell that we ever see a decade like that again in terms of gaming. With the most recent news that Xbox is moving up the price of Game Pass, and it's just, what the hell is going on over there? What is going on at Xbox? Are they okay? Are they all right over there? I'm getting concerned. They just said something not that long ago that something else was going up. Wasn't it the price of the actual consoles? When things like this continuously happen, I can't sit there and feel like I'm not doing the best thing possible, then play something from this era. When you play PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, GameCube, I can't find myself ever thinking I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. All right, I don't know what I'm saying. Basically, that anything that's from around this time is awesome.